Greetings my peeps, I am John the Verbose, and this is my video for the YouTube Pagan Challenge, week 32, on what is your favorite pagan artwork. I don't think I need a disclaimer for this one, because this is, like, art is subjective, everything is my opinion, so that's awesome. Anyway, as far as pagan artwork goes, only a few things come to mind, and actually I could probably narrow it down to one thing. I really like the Druid sigil. Well, okay, there are two things, but let's start with the one I just mentioned instead of going in chronological order. The Druid sigil, I had mentioned before, is a symbol to the Reformed Druids of North America, of which I am a member, and it has no specific meaning, and it has no intended powers. And so each Reformed Druid imbues it with their own powers of whatever they want it to mean to them, and it represents whatever it is they need it to represent. So for me, the circle of the sigil represents two things. It represents simultaneously the sun itself, and it also represents the wheel of the year. Though there is a piece of artwork that I found in one of the conference rooms at work. It's a very large mixed media painting, and it's got, I really don't think it was intended to have Druid sigils on it, but there are 3 of them on it, and they're all connected. The vertical bars go down through the painting, little off center, and then there are circles that the bars go through. And I remember the first time I went into that conference room, and I was like, Druids! It's the Druid sigil! And especially with me being a third order Druid, it's like, there's 3 sigils, I want that painting. And I was like asking, I was trying to figure out who I had to ask that ordered artwork, and like what catalog did they order from, and they're like, I don't know, it's probably local artists. The artwork is signed. Unfortunately, I can't read the artist's signature to save my life, so I'd probably just have to get some like oil paints and a huge canvas and paint one something like unique to my interests. But aside from that, I really don't have any other pagan artwork that is distinctively a favorite. Though one thing that always captures my imagination is the Neolithic inscriptions in stone at Newgrange in Ireland, and that's a 5,000-year-old tomb it's this massive mound of earth and stone, and this, you can go, well, as far as I know, you could still go into it on tours, and there's this opening that goes into the mound, and there are so many different inscriptions around the outside of the tomb and inside. There are zigzags and spirals and concentric circles and lozenges, which is like some sort of archaeological term for diamond shapes, and rays, and there's so many different things. And there's the iconic spiral that's at the back of the tomb. But one thing I didn't realize is that when I'm crawling along and my shoulders are like rubbing against these stones, because it's a very small passage, that I didn't even see until I was on my way out, that with the light coming in, it casts just the faintest shadow across the surface of the stone, and the whole passageway that I was walking in on through it was covered in these 5,000-year-old inscriptions, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, everyone that squeezes through here is like sliding up against these stones and slowly eroding them away. And so it was just something that really captured my imagination, since we really don't know what any of the geometric patterns mean for the most part, and it's like almost entirely based on conjecture. So the Neolithic artwork, some of the oldest artwork carved in stone, is probably one of my favorite pieces of artwork. So that's all I had for this week. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next week.